Welcome back to Sports Enthusiast Season 2. My name is Aaron Randak, joined by
Ashton McConnell.
Luke's McGee.
This is going to be our MLB Award Prediction show. It's going to be all things MLB as we are recording this right before the season starts. It is Thursday, July 23rd, 2020, in the middle of this wild pandemic. I think we should probably just get right into it unless you guys have anything to add.
Sounds perfect with me. First thing up, NL MVP. Let's talk it.
We're going to do our top three for most of these awards, so I guess I'll start at three with Christian Yelich for me. Obviously, the two-time reigning MVP in the NL. I think he's going to have another great year, but I think a little voter fatigue and all that may come into effect here, but I still think he will be third.
For three, for me, I got Ronald Acuna Jr. He's been an exciting young player to watch, and I think he'll continue to prove with this Brave team as time goes on.
I also have Acuna. I had him higher as about 20 minutes ago this morning, but I pushed him down because I was thinking that, to me, he's got to be getting close to the top of what he can be, and I'm envisioning him to have a little bit of a drop-off here.
Completely disagree. This dude is on the rise, in my opinion.
I mean, guess we'll find out in about 8 hours.
Yeah, you're right. Well, no, he's not playing today, so you're wrong.
32 hours.
Close enough.
That's what I got.
Yeah, for my number two, I'm going to have Mookie Betts. Obviously, just signed a ginormous extension, 12 years, $365 million, making that 13 years they have him under control for. So, yeah, he's going to be making a lot of money these next few years, but I do think he is the second best player in baseball currently, but I don't think he will get MVP this year. Obviously, a brand new Dodgers team, bigger ballpark, so expect his stats to potentially go down just a hair, but he's still an amazing baseball player.
Number two for me, Juan Soto, another promising young star, and obviously you saw that in the World Series against the Astros, was an absolute beast, but I don't think he will win the MVP. He'll just fall short of my number one.
Very popular pick there, Juan Soto. A lot of people think he's getting the MVP this year.
My number two is going to be Christian Yelich. I'm a huge fan of this guy. Absolutely mashes the ball. I mean, obviously he's an NL Central player, so it kind of hurt to make this pick as a Cardinals fan. But I got to recognize the game. He's a hell of a player. And I envision him finishing second in the NL MVP.
And my NL MVP may come as a little surprise to many, but I think he's one of the most electric players in baseball. Fernando Tatis Jr. I think in a shortened season, you can just see this guy pop off as we saw at the beginning of last year before he got hurt. One of the best players in baseball, amazing on the base paths, can hit the ball out of the ballpark. He has a problem with strikeouts, which hopefully he improves on, but he is a young player, so it's understandable, and his fielding is amazing as well. So I just think he's a young superstar.
For my number one, Cody Bellinger. Every time I see him, the highlights, he's just either smashing the ball out of the park, getting base hits, or he's gunning people out. He can do it all, and I think he'll continue it this year.
I got a Diamondback, Ketel Marte.
Interesting.
Ooh.
I feel that...
Don't think he's a one-year wonder?
I do not. I think that he's going to feel himself need to step up even more than he did last year, and I think he's going to try and do everything he can, and I think it's going to work out for him. I have him winning the NL MVP this year.
So I'm the only one with the favorite pick.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's a shortened season. I don't know if I want to pick any favorites.
Pretty much anything can happen.
That's true. All right. Back over to AL MVP.
For me, at number three, I have another maybe surprising pick, but Xander Bogaerts of the Red Sox. He's probably the most underrated player in baseball, in my opinion. I think he's the best hitting shortstop in baseball. He's just amazing. He's an all-around great hitter and very underrated.
My number three is Francisco Lindor. He's an absolute stud at the plate, absolute stud in the field. Obviously, with the pitching getting a little bit worse, the bat is going to need to get popping for that offense. So I think he'll be a big part for that team.
I also have Francisco Lindor. I feel that he's just going to continue to improve from where he was last year. And I have him finishing third in the AL MVP race.
For me, at number two, I'm going to have Alex Bregman. Definitely a non-popular pick here. I'd assume he's going to lead the league in hit by pitch. So that means his on-base percentage is going to be higher, and his slugging percentage is going to be good as usual. So, yeah, he's still one of the best players in baseball, in my opinion, even without the trash can banging. So
I feel that Altuve will probably set the curve for hit by pitch, but I guess we'll find out.
Well, the thing with Altuve, though, is it came out that he didn't really use it that much. So I think Bregman, drilled a little more. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
I just wonder if any Astros players are gonna miss time because a hit by pitch hit him in a bad spot.
It's possible.
It'd be a really interesting moment.
It would.
All right, my number 2 is Aaron Judge. Obviously, he's a monster at the plate, just smokes home runs, obviously. And in the field, he has a cannon, but it does help he's one of the tallest players in the MLB, and for that size, that makes him a really good player.
My number 2 is actually Mike Trout. Obviously the favorite. And to me, I feel with the shortened season, anything can happen. And to get off the kind of Trout train, I decided to put him at second, and I have one guy finishing ahead of him.
Yep, that's what second place means. For me, AL MVP is Mike Trout, best player in baseball, in my opinion, a top 3 player to ever play the game. And yeah, I don't really have anything bad to say about him. Everyone knows Mike Trout is amazing.
Yeah, I also have Mike Trout. He's just a beast at the plate, beast at the field. He's does it all. No question about it.
I have Giancarlo Stanton winning the AL MVP.
Really?
At DH?
Really?
Yeah. I have him hitting literally off the charts.
Okay.
It's Yankee Stadium in a
It is
shortened
Yankee
season.
Stadium. But okay.
I feel if he plays every game, he could hit.
I'm not going to
Home
argue with
runs.
you. You're right. It's a short season.
It's just to be different, honest to God.
Anything can happen.
And yeah,
All right.
that's the one that I'll let you guys say I'm a dumbass about. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, you can say that about a lot of things for you. My NL Cy Young, number 3 is Jack Flaherty of the St. Louis Cardinals. Had a phenomenal second half last year, and I expect him to continue on that. Another rising star in the league that I think will be here for a long time.
Yes, starting off in the NL, I also have Jack Flaherty. He's obviously a promising star for the Cardinals and going to be their ace, hopefully, for the future.
I have Walker Buehler of the Dodgers. And
Another young stud.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Thanks, asshole. He's been getting better the last couple of years, and I feel that he'll just continue getting better. But I haven't finished him third.
My number 2 is Max Scherzer of the Washington Nationals. He's been here forever. He's one of the best pitchers in baseball. Nothing really to say about him besides he's an absolute stud.
My number 2 is also Max Scherzer.
It's like somebody's reading my notes.
Yep, just like
season 2, nothing different.
Yep. He's been their ace. I guess you could argue Strasburg, but a lot of people say Scherzer is just been an absolute stud, a strikeout machine, and I think he'll keep it up this year.
I also have Scherzer, and to not be obnoxiously repeating, I'm just gonna leave it at Scherzer because they said it all.
My Cy Young for the National League is Walker Buehler. As Lucas said, one of the best players, one of the best young pitchers in baseball. Got electric stuff. Awesome four-seamer up in the zone, and he complements that with a lot of secondary pitches, especially his curveball. He's just a rising star, and I think he's only on the upswing right now.
My Cy Young is going to be Jacob deGrom. Obviously, that he's pretty much been pitching very effective for the Mets. A couple of years ago, he basically was 8-8, but had like a 1.34 ERA or something like that. But he was an absolute stud, and obviously he has a great four-seam, as an impressive slider, and yeah.
Yeah, Jacob deGrom, insanely good. 2-time Cy Young winner in a row. I do think voter fatigue might play a little role in that, but to be honest with you, I almost forgot about Jacob deGrom. Lucas, who won your Cy Young?
Jack Flaherty. I know you're gonna say it's biased, but he's one of the best young pitchers in baseball.
He had under a 1 ERA last year in the second half.
And I just see him and continuing it. Shortened season's going to help him out a lot. He won't have the half and half style season. It's going to be essentially one half of the season.
Mm-hmm. It's a sprint.
And I feel he is the best capable to win it.
All right. NL reliever of the year for number 3, I have Will Smith of the Braves, acquired last year in a trade with the Giants. I think he's going to be a great bullpen piece for them, and I can see the Braves going very far this year.
For me, number 3, I have Hector Neris for the Phillies. Obviously, did some great stuff with them for these past couple of years, so I think he's kind of promising for this upcoming year.
My number 3 is Kirby Yates of Padres.
Yeah, led the league in saves last year.
Enough said.
My number 2 is Kirby Yates, so we'll just On that. Great closer for the Padres, not much to say.
And number 2 is Kirby Yates for me.
Ashton's reading my notes again.
Do you have anything to say? My number 2 is Josh Hader of the Brewers.
Number 2, okay.
I mean, last year, best reliever in baseball. He's definitely a hell of a reliever. No one's going to debate that. And, yeah, I have one guy going ahead of him in the shortened year.
Yeah, I have Josh Hader at number 1. Like you said, best pitcher in baseball. He added a changeup this offseason. I just think that adds to his repertoire. He's going to be amazing. His absolute amazing fastball and with slider and changeup to complement that. It's hard to argue that he's one of the best.
Yeah, I have Josh Hader number 1 as well. He's been a stud for the Brewers, and he's just a lot of gas.
My number 1 is Cardinals closer Giovanni Gallegos.
No one wanted to say his name before you put him as the best reliever in baseball.
The bias is real.
I feel that with Jordan Hicks not pitching this year, that's one less closer that the Cardinals will have. And I feel that that's going to help him a lot. That's all I really have to say. Shortened season.
Right.
And next we got AL Cy Young.
Oh, yeah. My AL Cy Young my number 3 for AL Cy Young is Shohei Ohtani. Absolute stud. I am interested to see how he bounces back this year after Tommy John surgery. But, I have him at number 3 for a reason, so I think he's going to have a great year.
My number 3 is Jose Barrios. With the shortened season, I feel like this could be Jose's chance to possibly win the Cy Young. Obviously, he usually does good before the All-Star break, and then after is kind of when he starts to struggle a little bit. So we'll see what happens.
I also have Barrios. I feel that he is going to have a heck of a season. And, again, shortened season is going to help him a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, my number 2 is Justin Verlander for the Astros. Not much to say. He's Mr. Consistency for pitching-wise, and I just think he's going to have a great year.
Do you think the age is going to play into it yet?
Absolutely not, because I think possibly in a longer season, yes, but shortened season, I think he can go gas 100%.
Perfect.
My number 2 is Shohei Ohtani. I feel like this could be the year that he not only wins the Cy Young possibly, but Silver Slugger Award too as the DH. I mean, obviously he'll hit too. I mean, we'll see how he bounces back, like Aaron said, from Tommy John surgery, but he has a chance.
I also have Ohtani, and again, to avoid the repetition, because they said what I was going to say, just let Aaron give his number 1.
Garrett Cole. He is pitching at a smaller stadium in Yankee Stadium, but I think the voters will also take that into account and look at his expected stats and all that, FIP, XFIP, all that. I think overall he's one of, if not the best pitcher in baseball. So, yeah, he's my AL Cy Young.
And my number 1 is Justin Verlander. I think he'll keep it going, even though he is getting up there in age. I think he's still an absolute stud, and obviously I think he'll just be dominant again.
I got Matthew Boyd of the Tigers. I got another young pitcher.
He plays in a big park.
Plays in a huge park. Thanks for saying that, because I was definitely about to say that. But I feel that he's just going to have a good season and a shortened season. And, I mean, the Tigers don't have much going for him. So, to get the Tigers mentioned, since we are in the Midwest, hey, Matthew Boyd's your guys' chance at an award. Because there's no way in hell you get a World Series. Aaron?
Yeah.
AL Reliever of the Year.
My number 3 for AL Reliever of the Year is Ken Giles of the Blue Jays. He's just another name that has been around for a while, and he's a great reliever. Not much to add on that.
My number 3 is Taylor Rogers. After kind of a couple of years where Taylor Rogers was bad, or I consider him my least favorite pitcher on the Twins, now he's one of my favorites. He's turned into a beast, and I think he'll keep it up this year.
Number 3, I have Aroldis Chapman. One of the reasons that it gets a little bit sketchy right now is he does currently have the coronavirus, and that's going to take probably 2 weeks out of the season to begin with, of a shortened season.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things that I took into consideration, and in the case that he does come back and he does have a lung issue, because there has been people that have had that, then there's a chance that he has a horrible season, so I put him at 3.
I got just a little bit of news here. The Minnesota Twins released their opening day roster, and 2 notable points here. No Alex Kiroff, no Royce Lewis. Somewhat expected, but in case anyone was curious about that, those guys will not be on the opening day day roster, I'm assuming for service time purposes. Back to what we were saying, my number 2 reliever of the year for the AL is Aroldis Chapman. He's been around for forever. Not much to add on him. Electric fastball, great slider.
My number 2 is Liam Hendricks of the Oakland A's. Obviously, he's been very effective for them, and I think he'll just keep it going for that bullpen.
I got Roberto Ozuna of the Astros. It sucks because I hate the Astros, but guy has game, and I'll definitely have to say.
Well, some more news here. For football purposes, the Washington Redskins will call themselves, as of now, the Washington Football Team. That's not a joke. Adam Schefter tweeted out 1 minute ago. This is not a final renaming and rebranding for team. It is the name it wants to use until pending adoption of new name in the future.
Let's get back to baseball. That's
I mean, it's part of the time, I guess.
that's a lose.
That's an L.
The Washington Football Team. But my AL reliever of the year, biasedly, is Taylor Rogers. He's going to be huge for the Twins this year. And yeah, not much to add again.
My number 1, as long as he's healthy enough, Aroldis Chapman. Not much to say, he's been around. Got a cannon for his fastball and then a great slider. So
I have Nick Anderson for the Rays.
Good one.
I feel that with this Rays team that's been improving, and with their manager, I feel that they're going to continue to improve. And I feel that there's a chance that Nick Anderson will be the best reliever in baseball in a shortened season. If it was a full season, I probably would have flipped my list around and went Aroldis, Osuna, and then Anderson. But with the shortened season and Aroldis coming off of Corona, I feel that there is a chance that Aroldis will miss 3 weeks. So,
All right, on to Rookie of the Year. For the National League, I have at number 3, Dustin May of the Dodgers. You saw him debut last year. He did not get his full year of service time, so he is still a rookie. And I think his luscious hair will add a lot to his value this year in the Rookie of the Year voting.
I did my Rookie of the Year voting a little different. These two are way more experienced on the younger players than I am, so I just did one of each. So I'll do my NL right now. So my NL is Dylan Carlson for the Cardinals. I think he can maybe bring some excitement for that team, maybe boost up the outfield a bit. And yeah,
I had Carlson as my number 3 Rookie of the Year for the NL. He currently has not been called up, but I feel that by the end of the year, or by the end of the first week, they'll realize what weakness they have inside that outfield, and I feel that they'll call Carlson up. But with the shortened season, they may not, which is why he stayed at 3 for me.
What I would assume they're going to do is wait till he won't acquire a full year of service time this year for contract purposes, like the Blue Jays did with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. last year. So that's my prediction there. My number 2 is Gavin Lux of the Dodgers. They just get option to AAA for probably similar reasons. However, they did call him up last year, so I'm not certain that he's going to get much playing time this year, but I'd assume he'd get called up eventually.
I got Mackenzie Gore of the Padres, lefty pitcher. I watched a little bit on this guy the other day, and I'm impressed. I feel that he has a chance to have a hell of a year, but there is one NL Rookie of the Year candidate that I feel will have a better season.
My NL Rookie of the Year is Carter Kieboom of the Nationals. I think coming in replacing Anthony Rendon, I don't think there will be a huge drop off there, at least in the future. I really think this guy is a bright future ahead.
I have the same person, Carter Kieboom. I feel that for similar reasons, he's stepping into such a role that Rendon was in that he will step up to the plate. And for me, that's going to be just what he's going to do.
More news coming out here. The NHL's newest expansion team will be called the Seattle Kraken, according to ESPN, with icy blue and navy blue color scheme with sharp red accents. I like it.
Sounds disgusting for jerseys. Well, I guess it's hockey, so I guess it won't be that bad.
Yeah, hockey teams tend to have kind of weird type names.
Kraken.
That's a nice name. I do like that. All right, we got AL Rookie of the Year.
For number 3, I have Nate Pearson of the Toronto Blue Jays. Not certain that he's going to get called up this year. However, I'm obviously predicting that he will. And throws absolute shed. Yeah, great pitcher.
Like I said, I only did one because I'm not experienced, so I did Joe Adele of the Angels. I think he can be a promising star to go along with Mike Trout and possibly bring this Angels club back to popularity, maybe.
Well, he better be good because he is the only prospect the Angels have right
And Brendan Marsh.
now. I suppose.
My third AL Rookie of the Year is Wander Franco.
Think he's going to get called up?
That's my prediction, but I also have him at 3 because I'm not for sure he'll get called up. That's kind of what I did with my number 3 spots. Is guys I'm not for sure will get called up. So
My number 2 is Brandon McKay of the Tampa Bay Rays. He got a little experience under his belt last year. Still will be considered a rookie this year. He can play 2 ways. If you need him to DH, he will. Almost a little mini Shohei Ohtani.
I have Jesus Luzardo of the Oakland Athletics. He's a pitcher with a hell of a curveball, and I feel that I don't know if he's going to get much play this year, but I got him at 2. I think he has a promising future, and I think you'll be able to hear his name more often in the future.
Yeah, my number 1, probably the obvious choice here, Luis Robert of the Chicago White Sox. I mean, he's been showing out in these scrimmages already, and I just think he's an absolute stud.
Yeah, I think I also have Robert as number 1. I feel that as a center fielder, he is built to be one of the top center fielders. And yeah.
And boy, do the White Sox need some fielding out there. Oh, they suck in the field. All right. On to NL Manager of the Year. I'll start it out. Number 3, I have Dave Roberts of the Dodgers. I do think the Dodgers will be the best team in baseball, but I don't think Roberts will get the credit he deserves because they have so much talent.
Number 3 is actually going to be Bud Black of the Colorado Rockies. I feel like the Rockies will make a surprise run this year. Maybe I'm thinking wild card, and I think he will be a big reason why for their success.
I got Craig Counsell of the Brewers, and that's just for consistency. If anyone listened in season 1, he was number 3 for me last year. I'm going to keep him there. I'm a big fan of the guy from what he played, and managers to me, I don't recognize many, so when I recognize one, I like to throw him in there. No, he's not going to win it. I just wanted his name in there.
For me, at number 2, I have Brian Snitker of the Atlanta Braves. I think the Braves, as I said earlier, are going to have a great year this year, and he will be recognized for that.
He's also my number 2. You pretty much just said everything.
Reading my notes as usual.
I got Mike Schill of the Cardinals.
Okay.
And I do actually have a little bit of reason for this. It's a younger team outside of like Goldschmidt and Fowler. I mean, they have O'Neill, Bader, Flaherty, Gallegos, Hicks, but he's not playing this year. Mm-hmm. It's a younger team, and I feel if he can pull them into a wild card, it does throw his name into the hat for Manager of the Year. But I don't envision them getting there.
Well, yeah. But did they get the wild card last year? Or did they win the division?
Wild card, I think. Yeah, Brewers won the division. No, Brewers didn't make it.
I think they won the division.
Might have won the division. Or the Brewers. It was the Reds.
Because I was going to say it wasn't the Reds. Yeah. Okay. I was going to say because if they go down and
then they that
was my little thing there. For me, NL Manager of the Year is David Bell of the Reds. I expect the Reds to have a great year this year. Their roster looks amazing, and I think if they do end up winning the division, which I think they will, I think David Bell will be recognized for that.
My number 1, I think he'll get a little more credit than you think he will, is Dave Roberts. Obviously, I also think they'll be the best team in the NL. And I think he will be kind of part of the reason dealing with all these stars. I mean, maybe a little tricky, but
I also have David Bell of the Reds. I feel that Reds team is loaded with talent, but I don't know if I'd go far as saying is any of them are superstar talent. They're a star talent for sure, but not a superstar. And I feel that he molding those players together will give him the recognition he deserves as Manager of the Year. AL Manager of the Year, number 3.
For my number 3, I have Rick Renteria of the White Sox. I don't expect the White Sox to get into the playoffs, but I do, however, see a big improvement coming for their team. Obviously, with signings of of Yasmani Grandal, guys of that nature, Dallas Keuchel, and then Luis Robert coming up. I expect the White Sox to be a very good ball club, and I do think Rick Renteria will be a big part of that.
My number 3 is Joe Madden of the Angels. I think first year, I think he can help bring this club to a wild card spot, and with the shortened season, anything's possible.
I got Rocco Belladilli of the Twins. I can't pronounce his last name, so I haven't been able to since 2007. Anyway, I feel that he can bring the Twins to a very high rank inside of the AL, and I think they'll put him in the name for Manager of the Year, but I don't envision him winning it. hence him being third.
All right, for my number 2, I have Kevin Cash of the Tampa Bay Rays. I see them competing for the division this year, and if they don't get the division, I see them definitely getting into a wild card slot.
I also have Kevin Cash. You pretty much just said everything, and also that he's developed some great pitching there with the Rays.
I got Joe Madden of the Angels. I feel that if he can mold those 3 stars together and alongside bring in some other players, develop people around those players, I feel that he does deserve the credit as being an AL Manager of the Year. But at the same time, he does have Trout, so I feel that will play into it a little bit because Trout is probably the best player in baseball. But again, shortened season, maybe they'll forget about the fact that Mike Trout is one of the greatest baseball players to ever play.
Mm-hmm. Now, this may be a little hypocritical, but I have Aaron Boone winning the AL Manager of the Year because the reason I say it's a little hypocritical, I had Dave Roberts at 3, but I expect the Yankees to get the best record in the American League, and they do play in a somewhat contested division with the Rays and the Blue Jays there in the AL East.
He's also my number 1 too. They'll be probably one of, if not the best team in the AL record wise, and yeah.
I got Kevin Cash of the Rays. You guys pretty much said when you were saying your number 2. I feel that with his just the change that the Rays have been making lately, I think you have to take that into effect, and I feel that he is number 1. All right, NL Silver Slugger. So the way we'll do this,
Should I just go through, or do you want
we're going to go position by position and just kind of do one sentence each.
Okay.
Don't make a giant, long explanation unless you need to, if it's somewhat surprising. Aaron? Go ahead.
Catcher, Wilson Contreras of the Cubs. I can see him potentially being in the leadoff position this year, being a big on-base guy, and I do think he's a great bat at that lineup.
I also have him too. Like I said, he's a promising young star for that Cubs team, and I think he can have a lot of pop to that bat.
I got JT Realmuto. I don't know if anyone's really going to argue with me. I just feel that he has some pop in his bat, and I think it'll help him out.
At first base, I have Freddie Freeman, one of the most consistent players in baseball. I don't know what you argue about that.
And 2, he's one of the best hitters average-wise and does have a little pop to the bat as well.
I got Pete Alonso. I envision him absolutely pounding the baseball, but at the same time, he could have a really crappy year. We'll see.
Second base, I have Jeff McNeil of Pete Alonso's team, the New York Mets. If he plays second base, he's obviously kind of a utility guy, but I envision him playing second this year because they don't really have anybody else.
I have Ozzy Albies of the Atlanta Braves. I feel like he's going to do some promising things with this Braves team.
I got Mike Moustakas for the Reds. A lot of pop in his bat, and I feel on that Reds team he's going to be one of the better hitters, and it's going to pay off for him.
At third base, I have Nolan Arenado of the Colorado Rockies. Not much to argue there. He's been up near the 40 homer mark of the past couple of years. He obviously won't get 40 this year, and if he does, he'll win MVP. But yeah, he's one of the best players in baseball. Nobody's going to argue with me there.
I thought about putting him there for Silver Slugger, but I'd put another guy, Manny Machado. I feel like after a down year last year, I feel like he's going to bounce back and be better with the Padres.
I have Nolan Arenado also. And yeah, same thing as Aaron. Dude hits the baseball pretty fucking far, so not much to say.
At short, I have my MVP, Fernando Tatis Jr., absolute young stud.
I have Trevor Story of the Rockies. He's also kind of young stud, and he has a lot of pop to that bat.
I also have Tatis, and I feel that he's just going to have a hell of a year. I think that it's going to mainly come from where he's doing with the bat.
I think I'm just going to say my 3 outfielders in a row here. My 3 are Mookie Betts, Christian Yelich, and Cody Bellinger for the NL. I did leave Ronald Acuna off of the list because there's just really nowhere to put him.
For me, it is Juan Soto, Cody Bellinger, and Christian Yelich, and I put him off too, Ronald Acuna. It's kind of a tough place with so many star-studded outfielders.
I actually left Acuna off also. I went Juan Soto, Ketel Marte, and Christian Yelich. Obviously, I'm saying Marte is my MVP, so I split him in there ahead of Acuna. I feel that Yelich is one of the better hitters in the NL. And then Juan Soto, obviously, is amazing.
For my DH, I'm going to have Nick Castellanos. If he plays DH, it'll be him or Aristides Aquino for the Reds. and I'm just assuming it's going to be Castellanos. So yeah, he's my DH Silver Slugger.
For me, I have Jock Peterson if he plays DH as well, which I think he will. And yeah,
I have Giannis Cespedes for the Mets. I feel the Mets have a lot of power on that team, and I slid Cespedes in that spot.
We're going to go on to the AL.
You bet.
All right, and for my catcher, I have Mitch Garver. Maybe a little biased, but hey, he did pop off last year, and with the shortened season, he could definitely get a nice hot streak.
so Mitch Garver, his bat has been electrifying past couple of years, and I think he'll continue.
I actually also have Garver, and I feel that with his power hitting ability, there's not really anyone I want to slide ahead of him.
Especially with him leading off against lefties, then who knows where it'll be against righties, but I know. First base, I have a little surprise here. Vladdy Jr. of the Toronto Blue Jays. On the hype train. He had an absolute tank last night against the Red Sox, and I think he's going to start out really hot this year.
I thought about putting him there, but I put Matt Olson instead. I feel like he has a lot of power to that bat, and I feel like he'll continue it this year.
I put Carlos Santana, personally. I was going for a high average guy here, and Santana has lately been able to hit a lot more for power than he did when I watched baseball last time. And now I'm watching baseball again, and he's a completely different player, and I feel that Silver Slugger-wise, he's got a shot.
For my second baseman, going to be Jose Altuve. Going to be up there and hit by pitch this year. And yeah, he always hits for a high average. Great on base guy. And yeah.
I also have Jose Altuve. As long as some baseballs don't hit him in some weird spots, I mean, I think he'll be good.
I got Whit Merrifield of the Royals.
I like it.
He's hitting for contact well, and I feel that he's going to step into a role for those Royals and be essentially the captain and the leader of that team.
For my third baseman, I have Altuve's teammate, Alex Bregman. He was in my MVP candidacy there, so not really much to argue with that.
My third baseman is newly acquired Angel Anthony Rendon. You saw what he did with the Nats last year. I think he'll continue it with the Angels this year.
I also have Rendon, and I have him for the same reason. I feel he's going to carry on from last year, and he's in the AL now, and the only guy he has to compete with is Bregman, and I have him doing better than Bregman.
My shortstop is Xander Bogaerts of the Red Sox. I had him in my MVP race as well. One of the best players in baseball.
Mine is Francisco Lindor. He was also in my MVP race, and yeah, I think he'll do big things this year.
I have Gleyber Torres at shortstop. I don't know exactly where he's going to play. He plays somewhere in that infield. I gave him the shortstop nod. He hits the ball with power pretty well, and I feel that he's going to be one of the higher home run hitters in the league this year.
Mike Tyson will face Roy Jones Jr. in an 8-round exhibition on September 12th.
If the coronavirus doesn't end it.
That's crazy. Mike Tyson.
He's still got it.
I guess, yeah. Outfield. I have Joey Gallo of the Texas Rangers, Aaron Judge, and Mike Trout for my three.
My three are George Springer, Mike Trout, and Aaron Judge.
I have Giancarlo Stanton because he's my MVP. I have him in left field. He's probably in a DH, but I have him in left field right now. Mike Trout and Aaron Judge.
For my designated hitter, I have Nelson Cruz. He was on pace to hit 55 homers last year if he played every game. Just mashes the baseball.
I also have Nelson Cruz, absolute stud at the plate.
I also have Nelson Cruz, which is kind of part of the reason that Stanton played left for me was because I didn't want to not put Cruz on there and I didn't want to have to decide between the two. And I feel that Nelson Cruz is, with him being able to play every game this year because it is universal DH, I feel that he's going to hit a lot of home
runs. Now on to Gold Gloves. Let's just go through this one quick. I have JT Realmuto catching for the NL.
I also have him for the NL.
JT. I also have Realmuto.
I have Freddie Freeman winning Gold Glove first.
I have Anthony Rizzo for the Cubs.
And I also have Freddie Freeman.
I have Colton Wong at second base, your guy.
He sucks. Continue.
I have Ozzie Albies.
I also have Ozzie Albies.
Just a little more news here. With the MLB and the MLBPA discussing an expanded playoff seeding format, if they did go to the 16 seed expanded one, the number 1, 2, and 3 seed in each league, the division winners, would pick their opponent among the 5 teams with a selection show. I would love to see that, according to Buster Olney. Back to our normal scheduled programming. At third base, I have Nolan Arenado of the Colorado Rockies.
I also have him. He's done it all for how many years?
I got Matt Chapman for the A's.
He plays in the American League.
I knew I was going to do that once. Let's not be surprised. I'll go Arenado.
Nothing's changed.
At short, I have Fernando Tatis Jr.
I have Javi Baez.
I also have Javi Baez.
In the outfield, I have Betts, Victor Robles, and Cody Bellinger.
I have Betts, Acuna, and Bellinger.
I have Betts, Ketel Marte, and David Peralta.
Ketel Marte and David Peralta.
Diamondbacks in there.
Okay. I'm sorry. I love laughing at Lucas. In the AL catcher, I have Yasmani Grandal.
You skipping the pitcher for the Gold Glove?
Yeah, my bad. Pitcher, I have Aaron Nola.
I have Jacob deGrom.
I have Patrick Corbin.
Okay. Now on to AL catching Yasmani Grandal.
I have Salvador Perez.
I have Roberto
Is he
Perez.
playing this year?
Oh, I guess I didn't.
Is he?
I don't think he's playing this year. I'll double check.
I have Roberto Perez, the Indians catcher. I mean, he doesn't do anything with the bat, but
One of the best
nice
defensive
field
catchers in baseball.
exactly.
Absolutely. Salvador Perez.
I thought he was, but
Maybe he is. Never mind. Okay. For first base, I have Matt Olson.
I also have Middleton.
and I also have Matt Olson. I don't think there's much debate. He's a damn good fielder.
Second base, I have David Fletcher. The man, the myth, the legend.
I have DJ LeMahieu.
I also have DJ LeMahieu. If he plays second, I know that his possession's still up in the air.
Third base, I have NL third baseman Matt Chapman.
I also have Matt Chapman.
I probably would have put Matt Chapman if I would have been thinking correctly, but I put Bregman because I couldn't think of any other NL third baseman.
At short, I have possibly the best defender of all time, Andrelton Simmons.
I also have there at shortstop.
I had Angelo. I changed it, but I have it changed to Andrelton Simmons.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Originally, I was going to do Lindor, which I could argue if he wasn't in the same division as Simmons, he'd probably win it.
He's not in the same division. He's in the same conference.
Same thing.
In the outfield, I have Byron Buxton, Joey Gallo, and Aaron Judge.
I have Aaron Judge, Mike Trout, and as long as he stays healthy, Byron Buxton.
Ironically, I have the same exact thing as Aaron. I have Gallo, Buxton, Judge.
And pitching, I have Zach Greinke.
Pitcher, I have Verlander.
And I also have Greinke for pitcher.
Now we're going to do just a couple players to watch, just kind of for fun here. I'll say my three. I have Victor Robles, Juan Soto, and Ronald Acuna. I think those are three young studs right there.
For me, I have Bryce Harper, Chris Bryant, and Fernando Tatis Jr. Bryce Harper, obviously down year, looking to bounce back. Chris Bryant came off an injury. Hopefully he can get back to where he was. And Fernando Tatis, like Aaron said, could be a possible MVP candidate.
On my three, I got Josh Bell for the Pirates, Luis Castillo of the Reds, and then Ozzie Albies of the Braves.
For my AL, I have Shohei Ohtani, Anthony Rendon, and Luis Arias. Couple Angels there.
For my AL, I have Max Kepler, Jordan Alvarez, and Xander Bogaerts. Max Kepler is looking to be a lethal force at the plate. Jordan Alvarez, after a great rookie year, is hopefully going to keep it up as long as he doesn't get beamed a lot. And Xander Bogaerts, who, like Aaron said, another possible MVP candidate with this shortened season.
I got.
I want to go. I was going to cut you off.
I got Alberto Mondesi, the Royal shortstop. Lucas Giolito. First of all, amazing first name if you ask me. Second of all, I feel that he's going to be, with him being White Sox ace, he's going to have a great year. And then Juan Moncada, White Sox third baseman.
Close.
Young?
Yeah.
I was close.
Yeah, you were.
Everyone would be proud of me. I'm getting better at this.
You done?
I think so.
All right, now we're going to go over our division winners for each division. We'll start with the NL Central. I have the Cincinnati Reds winning the NL Central. I think they're going to have a great year, great starting rotation, or at least the top of it with Bauer, Castillo. I think they have another guy there too, Sonny Gray, and great team.
I'm going to say I think the Cardinals claim their throne again and keep it going, keep improving this year, obviously. And Jack Flaherty kind of like carries the load for that team.
You know how badly I want to say the Cardinals, and I probably should as a fan, but I like to be right more often. I got the Reds. The Reds have so much talent, and I feel that they will end up winning it.
In the NL East, I have the Atlanta Braves. I just think they're going to expand on last year. They have their young guys just getting better and going up, especially Acuna and Albies. As long as their starting pitching can figure it out.
Yeah, I have the Braves too. Like you said, the pitching just needs to get it handled. And sounds like the Twins a little bit, but otherwise the offense is dominant for that team.
I got the Nationals, and I have that because I feel that the team didn't change much from last year other than losing Rendon, and I feel that Boom will get in there, and their pitching is just amazing between Scherzer and Strasburg and Corbin.
Absolutely. My NL West, I have the Dodgers. I don't think there's much argument there.
Yeah, unless the Padres surprise people, Dodgers have it all the way.
Obviously it's going to be the Dodgers, but I want people to watch for the Diamondbacks. I want you to watch for the Diamondbacks. I think the team's got a shot. They're not going to win it, but I think they have a shot to make some noise.
Wow.
Same with the Rockies. I mean, they're teams that they're not going to get any recognition, so I feel the need to say them. But because they're in the Dodgers division and the Dodgers.
Not the Giants.
He has more faith in the Diamondbacks than his own team. Wow.
I didn't say they were going to win. I just said I want people to look out for them.
AL Central, Twins.
Yeah, I'm going with Twins. I guess I feel like if a team's going to challenge them, it'll be I'm going to say the Indians.
I would say the White Sox.
Yeah, I don't agree with him that the White Sox could make a challenge, but I also have the Twins.
AL East, I have the New York Yankees, unfortunately. I wanted to put the Rays, but the Yankees just have too much talent.
Yeah, the Yankees, but the Rays, I think, sneak a wild card.
Same exact thing. I got Yankees, Rays, sneak a wild card. Maybe if the Yankees end up having a bad start to the year, I can see them not being able to come back from it because that division is pretty strong.
Mm-hmm. Okay, this one maybe. In the AL West, I have the Astros.
I also have the Stros with the Angels as a sneaky wild card.
I don't have the Angels because of their starting pitching.
I think the Stros have a bad year, personally, is what I'm envisioning. So I'm going to go with the Angels.
I like it. No Oakland A's.
I was about to say I could see the A's sneaking up too.
Yeah. Anything potentially to add? Oh, who do we envision wild card? I'll start it off. In the AL, I'm definitely going to pick the Rays, and I would probably say the Athletics.
Rays, and then I think the Angels. I'm high on them this year.
Rays and A's.
Okay. In the NL, I have I'm doing this off the top of my head, if you can't tell. I'm going to probably go with the Nationals and the Cardinals.
I'm going to say the Rockies, and I'm going to say the Reds.
I'm going to give you a 3. I'm going to go Braves, Cardinals, or Diamondbacks. It's going to be it'll be a collection of the 2 of the 3.
All right. So those are our predictions for the year. Do you guys have anything to add with opening day today?
Not a thing.
Just one good game and then one game that could just be blown out.
Yeah. They're supposed to be rivalry games, I guess. And then they just want the Yankees to get on national TV, which makes sense.
Not a shocker.
So that's going to wrap it up for first episode of Season 2 of the Sports Enthusiast Podcast. Hopefully we have an NBA episode coming out soon. We had our update video come out hopefully recently. I don't know when these are necessarily going to get up, but hopefully they're all in a timely manner with opening day starting today. So that's going to do it for us here, and thank you guys for listening.
Thank you.